The Spirit of Eshara. Episode 2. The Bond with Essie and Journey to Maji'Kai. Asha walked along the dusty path that stretched beyond her village, Essie tucked safely in her pocket. Strange warmth of the artifact pulsed like a heartbeat against her palm, guiding her steps with a steady rhythm. Despite her initial fear, Asha felt a sense of purpose growing within her. She was now the spirit keeper, chosen to restore balance to Eshara's fractured realms. The journey was quiet at first, the landscape shifting from familiar coastal sands to hills covered in thick green grass. Birds sang in the trees, and the sunlight warmed her skin. It felt peaceful, almost too peaceful, considering the warning the ancestral spirit had given her. Somewhere beyond, Eshara's realms were falling apart, yet here, the world seemed whole. As she walked, Asha pulled Isi from her pocket and studied its carvings. Symbols were etched into its smooth surface, swirling shapes that reminded her of waves, mountains, and shadows. She traced them with her fingers, wondering what they meant. "Are you trying to tell me something?" she murmured. In response, Isi warmed slightly, the symbols glowing faintly for a brief moment. Asha's heart leaped in surprise, but then the light faded, and she was left staring at the artifact in silence. She felt an urge to understand the symbols better, as if they held answers she needed for her journey. The river calls. Days passed, and Asha found herself growing closer to the realm of Maji'Kai. The air grew cooler, and the sound of rushing water filled her ears. Soon she came upon a wide river, its waters deep and dark, winding through the land like a serpent. Tall reeds lined its edges, swaying in the wind, and the water seemed to whisper her name. "This must be the edge of Maji'Kai," she thought, taking a deep breath. Just as she was about to step forward, a flash of silver darted through the water, and a figure emerged. A young girl, laughing as she broke through the river's surface. She had deep blue skin that glistened like fish scales, and her eyes were as bright and mischievous as stars. The girl flipped backward, splashing water as she went, then stopped to stare at Asha with a curious grin. "Who are you, Landwalker?" she asked, her voice playful and sharp. Asha hesitated, taken aback by the girl's sudden appearance. I am Asha. I was sent by the spirit of Eshara to help bring balance back to the realms." The girl tilted her head, her eyes narrowing as she studied Asha. "Oh, and what makes you think Maji'Kai needs your help?" Asha felt a flicker of doubt. "I was told the realms are fracturing, and that strange things are happening. The spirit told me to come here first, to find balance." The girl's laughter rang out, echoing over the water. "Balance? That sounds like something the river whisperers would say." She paused, then introduced herself. "I'm Imani, and I don't need anyone's help, least of all from a landwalker." Imani's words stung, but Asha held her ground. "The spirit of Eshara chose me for this task. I'm here to help, whether you believe it or not." Imani shrugged, a sly smile playing on her lips. "Very well, Spirit Keeper. But let's see if you're really as brave as you claim." Trials of the water. Imani led Asha along the riverbank, her laughter and teasing remarks making the journey feel like a strange game. Asha couldn't tell if the water spirit was trying to help her, or simply playing with her. They passed small whirlpools and streams that twisted through the land, each filled with a strange energy. As they walked, Asha noticed how the water around them was shifting, rising and falling in unnatural ways, as if something powerful was stirring beneath the surface. "What's causing this?" Asha asked, watching a sudden surge of water shoot upward like a geyser. Imani shrugged. "The river whisperers say it's the realms breaking apart, but honestly, I think they just like to complain." She paused, then gave Asha a serious look. "If you're here to help, you'll need their trust. They don't like strangers much." Asha nodded, understanding the weight of Imani's words. She had to earn the trust of these river spirits if she wanted to bring any sort of healing to Maji'Kai. And how can I meet them? She asked. Imani grinned. Oh, I thought you'd never ask. She dove into the water, disappearing for a moment before surfacing again, beckoning Asha to follow. The water's edge lapped at her feet, cool and inviting, yet also intimidating. Asha hesitated, but she knew she couldn't turn back now. Taking a deep breath, she stepped into the river. The river whisperers. The water was cool against her skin, pulling her deeper until she felt the current guiding her. Quote, Asha followed Imani, who swam gracefully ahead, her movements as fluid as the water around her. They ventured into a deeper part of the river, where the light dimmed and shadows danced beneath the surface. Suddenly, shapes began to form around them, shadowy figures with faces carved from flowing water. Their eyes glowed softly, like stars reflected on a calm lake. These were the river whisperers, guardians of Maji'Kai's waters. One of them, an elder with deep, thoughtful eyes, approached Asha, studying her closely. Why have you come, child of the land? He asked, his voice like the rushing river itself. Asha bowed her head respectfully. I was sent by the spirit of Eshara. I'm here to restore balance to the realms. The elder's gaze grew sharper. Many have come with promises of balance, but few understand the weight of their words. Why should we trust you? Asha felt a pang of doubt, but Isi warmed in her hand, giving her the courage to speak. Because I am willing to learn. I know I am not perfect, and I don't have all the answers, but I want to help. If you give me a chance, I'll prove myself. The river whisperers exchanged glances, murmuring among themselves. Finally, the elder nodded. Very well, Spirit Keeper. But know this, if you truly wish to help, you must understand the spirit of water, the power of change and adaptation. Only then will you be able to calm the waters of Maji'Kai. The first lesson. The river whisperers led Asha to a quiet pool surrounded by reeds and stones. The elder instructed her to sit by the water's edge and listen. Close your eyes, Spirit Keeper, he said. Feel the flow of the water. It is never still, always moving, adapting to every obstacle in its path. This is the essence of Maji'Kai. Asha closed her eyes, letting her senses open to the sounds and movements around her. She felt the gentle pull of the water, the endless rhythm that pulsed beneath its surface. Gradually, she began to understand. The river didn't resist. It moved, it shifted, it found new paths. The elder's voice was soft as he continued. The realms are like rivers, connected and flowing into one another. When one breaks, the flow is disrupted, and all suffer. You must restore that flow, Asha. Embrace the spirit of water. Asha opened her eyes, feeling a newfound understanding within her. She turned to the elder, bowing her head. Thank you. I think I understand. Imani, who had been watching from a distance, gave Asha a small, approving smile. Not bad, Landwalker. Maybe you really are the spirit keeper. The turbulent waters. But just as Asha began to feel a sense of accomplishment, a deep rumble echoed through the river. The waters grew restless, waves crashing against the shore as if disturbed by an unseen force. The river whisperers looked troubled, their faces dark with concern. It's happening again? One of them muttered. The elder turned to Asha, his gaze intense. There is a rift near the heart of Maji'Kai. It pulls creatures from other realms and disrupts our waters. If you are truly the spirit keeper, you must help us close it. Asha nodded, her heart racing. She looked to Imani, who gave her a mischievous grin. Well, spirit keeper, ready to face the unknown? With Isi in her hand, Asha felt a surge of courage. She knew that this was just the beginning of her journey, but she was determined to see it through. Together, she, Imani, and the river whisperers made their way toward the heart of Maji'Kai, where the true test of her spirit awaited. End of episode 2.